issues that we will be discussing are of great significance to the improvement of the quality of life. We have Mr. Rian Gayle, who is representing the deaf community, and he will be looking at some of the issues from the perspective of the deaf community.
I'm here to speak for the issues of the deaf community, to show their perspective and their issues about communication access. I want to share with you today, we in the deaf community have been progressing, and many, many things are happening as a result of our activities. We have had sports events, we have had community events, we have been progressing, and we are quite happy. But we still see that there's communication access that is not occurring. We are finding that there are many issues of interpreter quality. We are having issues with assistive devices that could improve our quality of life. Captioning, for example. There are a few things. We have TTYs, we have video relay, we have many devices that could be of assistance that could provide the access. And this is a human right of ours to get access to this information. Communication access means that the person needs to have access to full and complete participation in community affairs, and it should involve everyone. I want to address right now specifically education. It is such a crucial component. There are so many challenges to education as a whole. But if you think about the life of a deaf child as they grow and the impact that education has on them, if they do not receive their education when they leave the school system, they are at a loss as to what to do. They cannot enter university. They cannot continue their training following. They may not have the proper reading and writing skills to excel. So we're looking at, within education, some issues that I'd like us to address. The teachers within the education system, are they signing in JSL? Are the schools, do they have an effective curriculum? Are the teachers within the university system teaching the future teachers deaf education from a deaf perspective? Is deaf education rights-based, not this tendency to say, I'm giving to the deaf person because I feel pity for them, but that they have a right to an education? That has been a struggle for us to receive the education we need to access university. We need to just pull up our sleeves and begin this process of improving the education system. Now let's talk about health. Deaf people in our community avoid going to health services. They're having difficulties when they go in. They feel that the professionals do not understand them and it's not worth going to the doctor. And instead they go to family and friends and say, this is what's happening with me. What should I do about it? But you have to ask, if these people have not gone to medical school, what kind of advice are they telling them? What kind of advice are they giving them? They could become more deathly ill as a result of the advice they're receiving from their non-medical family and friends. They also won't go because of the fear of embarrassment over not being understood when they try to communicate, and that the medical professionals may be looking down at them because their communication is not clear. So here are some of the issues specifically I would like us to address. I would like, for us to address the doctor's perspective on their patients. Are they feeling a negative feel for their patients? The communication that's happening in the office is such a barrier. Imagine health information that the patient is not understanding because of the terminology used. They're not understanding, and that could lead to problems in what they follow through with. I do want to share with you one anecdotal story. There's a gentleman who was in a motorcycle accident. His foot swelled. He went to the doctor, but he didn't understand. He used home remedies when he had some lotions he put on. It didn't help. His foot began to swell worse.